Hi everyone, welcome to another video tutorial. We are in Daydreams by Hanna Karlzon, and on this page we have done the mushrooms already. We're going to do this little not sure, of Stardust today. I thought it would be a lot of fun. Just coming in a little bit closer for you. Let's just move our book into short. Okay, I'm going to start with the easiest bit for me, which is the cork in the bottle, and then we're going to move on and do the magic powder or potion, not sure, and all the bits and pieces. Anyway, the cork. Now I'm using my Polychromos again. I want, usually for cork, I like quite a, it's going to be a pale brown, but I don't like one that is too yellow. So I'm picking, this raw umber, because it's sort of the palest brown, which isn't yellow. So we're going to just go over the cork to start with. Now, with the cork, if you think about a bottle, a glass bottle that's got a cork in it, if the bottle is see-through, or even if it isn't, you can see a little bit of it through the bottle. And we need to think about how far down the bottle do we think the cork's going to go. We can draw it in. So what I tend to do is I want to use the angle of that line and continue it down. So I just start by running my pencil there and then just going to about here, I'm thinking, and then the same on the other side to about there, and then we'll take that across. It doesn't need to be really straight. You can do it really straight with a ruler if you want, but I think firstly it's going to be slightly distorted by the glass, and also a cork is often, if you look at this, it's very worn, so it's not necessarily going to have a really straight edge. So I'm just going to colour that in like that, and then make that one as dark to start with, like that. And then we're going to take a slightly darker colour and just work on it a little more. Oops, if I can get it out of the tray. This is the Nougat. It's a strange name for colour, isn't it? We're going to make it darker at this edge, because for me Nougat is a sort of absolutely vile, really revolting sweet, which I loathe. So it's a bit darker on the sides, and what I'm doing is I'm looking at the these lines. I'm going to sort of continue that down a bit, I think, and sort of shade inside it, maybe not all the way to the bottom, different lengths perhaps. Take that one down a bit more, that one just a little bit, just so that we can see some sort of marks in the wood, because it's quite a, I'll put a few extra just lines in there like that, and it just looks a little bit more worn out. Now you could do these in a darker black like these are. I'm not feeling very brave, so what I'm going to do instead is actually go over these in the brown to just try and fade them down a bit. I don't think it's going to be terribly effective, but anyway. You wouldn't see quite so much through the glass anyway as you do through this bit. Now I'm just going to think about the glass and then maybe adjust that a little bit after. Now you could do the glass as coloured glass, and in a way that can make it a lot easier for these bits, because you don't have to worry about trying to make it see-through. But on the other hand, then you have to reflect that colour within this. So I'm going to do it as if it's a see-through glass. I'm going to do it in grey to show some shade and shadow on our glass bottle. So I'm going to use the Cold Grey 1, which is a very pale grey, to do a little layer of colour over the whole glass, and then it just doesn't look like it's paper colour. Okay, I want it to stand out from the paper as being a different colour. But we're going to add to this in a minute, so yes, it looks very pale. That's fine. You may not even see that I put anything down on the film. I don't know how well it picks it all up. but we're going to jump up a couple of shades and go to our Coal Grey 3, which I'm going to sharpen. Oops, sorry, I'll just shove my hand in front of the camera. So yes, I don't know why it's called Nougat when it's that colour. It's always white. So here's our Coal Grey 3. And we're going to make it a little darker on the edges. See, there's some lines there which I think indicates that it should be a bit darker, and I think it helps us to start to imagine the curve of the bottle, because this wouldn't be flat, it would be round. And the same here, I'm going to emphasize it more here because we've got an overhang here. I think there'd be some shadow. I'm going to ignore where the cork is at the minute, we won't ignore it completely, and just pull that grey across a bit. So this bit is a little bit darker, like that. But we need to do some shadow where the cork is, and that if we use that grey it's not going to show up because our cork is a little bit darker. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to use the Nougat and see whether I can just do a little bit. I don't want it too much. So here's our Nougat again. I think I only ever used to buy Nougat at the seaside, like there. It gives the illusion now that this bit of cork is further forward than these two bits. It's a little bit odd. Maybe it would be slightly distorted by the glass. I'll have a think about that. But we're going to go back to our Cold Grey 3 and continue with this bit. Now I still want to be able to show some shape here, but I don't want it quite as dark as the bit above, because as I say, I felt that was more in shade, so it would need to be darker. But we'll start putting a little bit here and then bring it inwards. It's very hard to draw bottles, you just really well. Getting that corner, it's really difficult. I don't know if you've ever tried to do it. I don't draw very much, but I can appreciate how hard that would be. And then I'm just going to gently bring that right in towards this middle from both sides. And like that. I can't stop thinking about that revolting Nougat. It's sort of chewy and ugh, it's like a white toffee almost, but not nice. Ugh. Anyway, I'm going to stop there and I'm going to do the Stardust and then come back to maybe doing more on the bottle. We definitely got to do some white on there to show some shine and things like that, but we'll go right over because this, well, the label is on the outside of the bottle but the Stardust is inside, so any shine would have to go not over the label but over the contents of the bottle. So what colour is Stardust? Hands up? Don't know. What I'm going to do is, you could use a glittery pen and that would be really nice, just make it really shiny and glittery, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do something with pencil, and we'll probably add some glitter as well because, you know, because glitter. But but we'll do some I think pink. I think, whoops, there goes the pink. There go, this one I think is violet. Just checking, no, purple violet. Thinking pink, purple, violet. I'm going to hold them this time. And a sky blue, maybe? Is that the Stardust colour? Yeah, I'm going to do it like that. I'm going to start with my pink. Now this is quite a fluorescent pink and I'm wondering whether it's what I want. No, I'm going to switch it. I'm going to use the pink Carmine. Okay, or is it the rose Carmine? Hang on, I shall tell you, bear with me. It is the rose Carmine. If you're ever quite unsure, if I confuse you about names, I always put the names in the description and I check them before I put them in the description so they're right. So even if I've said it wrong in the video, it's correct in the description. I know it's not always the best way, but I'm not that good at editing. I know some people can add a bit of text on top going, oh sorry, did that wrong. I'm not that expert. Getting there. I'm getting better all the time. This is the purple violet, but I'm going to overlap some bits. I'm going to go over all the circles try not to go over the stars, but it doesn't really matter because this is just a very initial stage, and we're going to use some pens on the stars and probably on the circles as well, to be honest. So I'm just quite random what I'm doing. And here's the sky blue. I can confidently say this is sky blue. I know I use it a lot. You can probably tell by the length. I do have a pencil extender somewhere, but I'm not using it today, obviously. Okay, so that's just quite light. Now you could leave it really light and pale, but I'm going to make it a bit darker. So I'm going to go back over all the areas again with a harder, well, with another layer so it looks darker. But what I'm going to try and do, and I'll talk you through this one, is the centre I'll do quite hard, and then as we go towards the edges I'm going to fade it into the next colour so it can sort of blend a little bit into what's there. I don't know if that's pink or purple. It's pink now. And just do that all the way through. So you can see I'm going harder here and then just going around. A little round and round. This is what I call scumbling. Round and round motion. And it will help them to blend and layer up together. Don't really blend polychromos. It's not the right term. Blending is when you, this is the purple violet, is when you take two colours and you literally smush them together like you would as if they were wet paint. You can't do that with all brands of pencils, particularly not polychromos. So basically what we're doing is layering them on top of each other, and it helps the colours to mix up. When your eyes look at the colours, it thinks they're blended together because they're on top of each other, when actually they're not, they're just layered up. But it's fine, it's just a different technique. Although I use the same colouring technique whatever brand of pencils I use, and maybe that's wrong, I don't know. But when I first used Prismacolors, I thought that you just press really hard because they go down well. And back to the sky blue to finish off. And I got a sort of sticky mess, and I was advised to layer up, which is what I was doing with the Polychromos. So I now use the same technique for both, and I find it works for me. So that's good. Now we have some layers in this, in these sort of sparkly clouds. Here, look, this line here and here. And I'd like to put a little bit of shadowing in there to make it look like we've got different layers of dust or stardust. Now I had thought about doing that in a dark purple or a dark blue, but that's going to affect the colour of everything. So I think it's best to do it in a grey, and then it will just lay over the top and it won't make one colour dominate, because I've tried to spread it out so that we haven't got a dominant colour. So I'm going to use this. No, I'm not. That's not what I wanted to use. I'm going to use my Paynes grey. I picked up the wrong one. Paynes grey. And just go put in just a little bit. Just do it lightly and then just build it up until it looks how you want it to look. That's if you want to do this at all, of course. You may feel that it's fine without it. Just a little bit of shadow. It'll make it look a little bit more three-dimensional, hopefully, which is what I'm trying to get, sort of layered look. I'm going to go around the stars as well in a minute, one bit at a time. I have to be careful because I can get carried away and try and do everything at once. And if I'm working on my own, that's not too bad, but I'm trying to show you how to do it. I need to just go gently. So around the edge of each star, a little bit of shadow. That one might be a bit thick, maybe a bit thinner. Now I think I'm trying to decide what order to do things in. I think we'll do the label first. Maybe we'll do slightly darker versions of the colours that are inside, but we've got that sort of backgroundy bit. What have we got? We've got violet, we've got sky blue. Yeah, so we used the ultramarine, which is the next darkest blue. It's going to disappear. Go on, stay. That's it. We used the pink Carmine, which is the next darkest pink. It's not going to stay. And we used the mauve. Okay, so we've got a sort of darker range. The blue is still quite pale, and I'm going to use that for the main part of the label because I don't want it to be really dark. So I'm going to put, a darker bit here, and then make it paler towards the middle of the label to try and continue with that illusion of shape that we were trying to do at the top of the bottle. We may need to do a little on this as well, but we'll see how it looks as we go. So towards the middle I want it really quite light. But we can always add more on the edge if there's not enough contrast. I'm just layering it up until I feel that it looks how I'm hoping it will look. Now I can't visualise, so I have to just play with it until it looks right. I think that's okay. I'm going to leave that there for now. Can always come back to it. This is the pink Carmine. Do this one at the top. The same technique. Dark to light, some more layers here. And then this there. And then the mauve at the bottom. So I'm not showing you the names because they've been sharpened off. So there isn't anything to see. Okay. Now I need to think about, yeah, I'm going to use the Paynes grey on top of the sparkly bit here, just to make it a bit darker there and here. It's quite daring doing this, but it might just add that bit of extra shape to our bottle. It's not massively shapely, but I think it's okay. Now, looking at that cork again, I think I'm okay with it. I'm going to leave it. The stars. Now, I'm just trying to think of what order to do this in. I think we've got several different bits of things we need to do. We've got silver metallic pen, we've got white Posca pen, and we've got Stickles. I think I'll do the white first. I don't know how well this is going to show up. This is white Posca pen. I use the PC1 MR. I'm going to try and make some shine on our bottle. Now I usually come slightly in from the edge. Just put a line. Remember what we said, the label is on the outside, so it's not going to have a shine. And just do a few dots there, like that. Now that's not very bright. So I'm rattling the whole desk. My cable's rattling. I hope the book isn't rattling. There we go. Let's get a bit more white paint out of there. That's better. There we go. So there is our bottle with its a little bit of shine. That's step 1. Step 2 is the stars and circles. I'm going to do them in the Sakura metallic pen. This is the silver. It's #553. You can buy them singly. I have them in a pack like this, all different colours. But I use them gold and silver the most. I do actually have a silver and gold pen in a set of 3 with a white, which is brilliant as well. but I haven't used those yet. I'm sort of running this one out and then I can replace it. Well, I say running this one out, I don't mean that. I mean when this one runs out, I replace it. Now you could do some of this in gold, but I just figured that the silver would match better. And I don't know, I think Stardust is silver, not gold. You may not agree. Okay, so there's our silver, and now we're going to apply our stickles. So these are called Diamond. Okay, there are silver stickles, which I think would probably work better. I don't have any. But I'm just going to use my cosmetic tip, and I'm going to pour a bit of the stickles on here, like that, and then I'm going to splodge it on here to make it sparkle a bit more. It's so pretty. It doesn't want to play though, come on. It helps if you don't press the end of the stickle so hard against the cosmetic tip that it forms a vacuum. Oops. Okay, now you can apply stickles directly to a page using the nib of the bottle, but I find that it goes down too thickly when I try and do that. I'm a bit awkward and I'm still learning, so I prefer to do this and then spread it myself. It would probably be a little more accurate if it was using the nib, but you know, I will practice that, but this is just a technique I like to use at the moment. Now try and dab it to make sure we don't get anything too thick. If it goes too thick, then it leaves a sort of blob, which is hard to colour on the back of. Blob being a very technical art term. I'm full of these. Oops, I think I just went over the top of a silver bit. It may have been easier to have done this and then the silver on top. I don't know. I think I'm just trying to tip so the light catches it so I can see where I've missed. I don't know how well you can see in the camera. It's always hard, well, impossible for me to know whether you can see any glitter or not. And even when I try and turn it so it catches the light, I don't know what you can and can't see. Now, I don't think it would be easier to do the white first, because I think it would, I don't know if it would write on top of the glitter. I'm done now. Just putting that down, put the lid back on the stickles. And I will try and tip this so you can see the shine. Oh, there. Oh, yeah. There you go. It's very sparkly. I think it needs sparkle. You could put some sparkle on the label as well, because you know it might be sparkly, but I think it's nice just to keep it inside the bottle. So there we go. That is my bottle of Stardust. I hope that was fun. I had great fun, so I hope you did. The stickles vary in price a lot. It's really strange. I look on them. I've got them all over my hands. I look online and sometimes they're like a few pounds and sometimes they're £5 for different ones. I don't know whether it depends where you buy them from or which ones are in demand or whatever, but I like them. I do like a sparkly gel pen as well, but these have got a different coloured glitter in, so it's a bit more versatile, I find, you know, but it's nice to have a bit of sparkle, isn't it? But there we go, there is our bottle of Stardust. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.